Oklahoma State controls the tip. The Cowboys have been up and down all season, especially in conference play. They've lost 3 straight at home, but in their last 5 games, they have road wins against West Virginia and Kansas. However, an early turnover.
Well, because they're playing against the best defensive team in the Big 12, one of the better defensive teams in the country in Texas Tech tonight. Now, Anish, Texas Tech's offense is pure motion offense. When Chris Beard was an assistant for 7.5 years with Coach Bob Knight, that's what Coach Knight, not a set pattern of plays. It's all reads off of screening, wide pin-out screens, and cutters read what the defense does to determine where they're going on the floor.
Kendall Smith nearly lost it, able to recover. Shot clock winding down. And Smith knocks down the jumper. The graduate transfer from Cal State Northridge, where he was an all-conference selection, and prior to that, Smith was at UNLV.
And picks up right where he left off Saturday, 21 against TCU.
Here is Keenan Evans, second to Trey Young in the Big 12 in scoring. Evans finding an open man. It's Zaire Smith who knocks it down from the outside, his 11th 3 of the season. And contact along the sideline. We get a foul. It is on Evans. That
was an NCAA tournament team 2 seasons ago.
You just saw Keenan Evans run into the locker room. He had practiced yesterday, went through shoot around this morning, and now the idea was to try to give it a go. 3 by Lindy Waters is good. Naeem Stevenson, a 2-time junior college All-American, into the game for Keenan Evans. Odiase. And he stepped out of bounds. Remember, he hurt his toe late in the first half against Baylor as Carroll drives, and we get an offensive foul on Jeffrey Carroll. Evans did not play in the second half of that game.
But you know, the contact fighting over the screen, I'm not sure, we're not sure if he re-injured the toe or if it's something else right now.
3-pointer by Stevenson, in and out. The rebound to Tavares Shine. Here comes Smith. Hits the pull-up, and Oklahoma State off to a good start here at home. And now Justin Gray, the senior out of Tampa, one of their better defenders.
He's back
on the floor.
Yeah, that's a great sign. That's a great sign for Texas Tech.
Evans finding Smith on the inside, and Zaire Smith, a high-flying junior from Garland, Texas, to the free throw line.
A lot of guys, but this kid right here, Zaire Smith.
Double figures in 5 straight games. Plays above the rim with blocked shots, rebounds, and dunks. Here's Kendall Smith, picked up his dribble. Trying to get it inside to Solomon. Dangerous pass. And it's going the other way.
Oklahoma State 3 for 3 to start when they're getting shots. They turned it over right there. And I tell you, against TCU on Saturday, off to a 9-0 start, they were up.
So critical to Mike Boynton's success. Boynton called Solomon the MVP as Evans gets his first basket. Now, Solomon's not a guy who's going to fill the stat sheet, but he does a lot of the small things. And when you look at his plus-minus numbers, Oklahoma State is better with Solomon on the floor. Here comes Stevenson, baseline. Nearly turned it over. Kick to the corner. 3-pointer is not there by Tommy Hamilton. Texas Tech ball.
But you know what, Anish, that's what Tommy Hamilton does. He can really shoot it, and really good job of reshaping his body.
6'11", but he's more of a threat from the outside. There's Hamilton. Now Stevenson. Touch pass down low.
Boy,
Tough basket by Zaire Smith.
What a great bounce pass by Tommy Hamilton. And we're seeing the big guy, the versatility of his game.
Carroll catch and shoot three, not there. Offensive rebound, Oklahoma State. Here is Yankuba Sema, 35 in orange. Sema backing in over Hamilton.
Wow.
Left hand for two.
Nice left hand there for the junior out of Spain.
A transfer from St. John's. Evans straightaway three, too strong. And Sema has the rebound. Sema going to work against Hamilton. Passes out of the double. Carroll on the block. Carroll off balance and able to draw the foul on Zaire Smith. Keenan Evans, the area.
Good move by the young coach right there, going through.
And the third in 3 years for Oklahoma State. After Travis Ford was let go, Brad Underwood coached for a year, then he bolted. And Boynton, who was on Underwood's staff, succeeding Underwood.
Now coming out of the timeout, Oklahoma State goes soft zone pressure so that they don't have to guard Texas Tech's motion offense for the entire clock.
Hamilton traveled.
Well, John Riley, the strength coach, has done a marvelous job with that young man. See how they're denying the ball? They won't let you reverse the basketball easily. Their defense really disruptive because they're in passing lanes.
Averett off the window, put back attempt not there by Lucas Gasson. And here comes Texas Tech with a chance to tie. Shines, saves it. Gasson is there. Here comes Averett. Averett pushing the lob down low. Carroll has it blocked by Smith. And it comes back to Evans.
Boy, one of the things Carroll has to do right there is they can't double clutch in there. Just got to power that ball up, go up strong. If anything, draw the contact. Don't try to avoid it.
Brandon Francis now into the game, number 1 in gray. Three-pointer is good by Smith. Zaire Smith, the junior from Garland, off to a fast start. He's got 10 of the 12 for Texas Tech.
Anish, eye-popping athleticism from Zaire Smith, one of the two best athletes on the team. Jared Colliver is probably the other.
Carroll able to draw the foul. Playing tonight against Louisville, missing his 4th straight game.
Anish, they're a better defensive team without Marvin Bagley on the floor. Now, they're not a better team overall without him. They need him, but I'll tell you, maybe he's sitting there watching as he's, bringing himself back to good health, seeing what he needs to do defensively.
Sema. Odiase fighting for the rebound. Last touch, Texas Tech.
And how about Kansas? They pounded Oklahoma on Monday night, 104-74. So not as much preparation for the Jayhawks.
Three-pointer by Thomas DeZagua, sophomore out of Florida. 6 lead changes already in this first half.
Well, that's what DeZagua does. He comes in a terrific three-point shooter.
Odiase from the high post. Gray back into the game after taking a spill earlier. Three-pointer is good, plus the foul. Lindy Waters to the free throw line. The home games 5 and 9 in conference to do to get back into that NCAA tournament picture.
Well, Anish, here's the good news. They have games coming up against teams in this league that they have capabilities of getting back in. Now, at this point in the year, you can't look good. You know what you need to do right now? You need to win basketball games. This would be a great win for them against a Texas Tech team that's ranked 6th in the country. But it's all about winning right now. They got Kansas again this towards the end of the season. Might be the last game of the season, I believe.
They finish with Kansas, still have Texas.
Yeah, Florida State, Oklahoma. My bad. Florida State obviously is this is a team that beat Florida State, Oklahoma, Kansas, and West Virginia. So they got quality wins.
And they've got a 3-point lead at home on numbers this weekend. Game day will be coming to Lubbock. The Red Raiders already won in Lawrence this season. It's funny because just about a week ago when Kansas was on the ropes, it seemed that this is the year somebody else is going to win the Big 12. And then Kansas comes back against West Virginia. Keenan Evans gets hurt. Texas Tech loses to Baylor. And here we are.
I'll tell you what, Anish, a week ago I'd have said Kansas or the field. I'm absolutely taking the field. Now I'm a little nervous.
I think you actually took the field down the air a week ago.
You know what? I'm going to stay with the field. I'm going to stay with Texas Tech. And
well, is it the field at this point, or is it Texas Tech and Kansas?
It is. It's Texas Tech and Kansas. And I'll tell you what they did in Lawrence, 21-25 from the free throw line. Texas Tech, 18 offensive rebounds. Crushed Kansas on the glass. 15 second chance points to Kansas's 4. And here was the best part of it. Texas Tech really balanced 5 guys in double figures, and that's what they're going to need to do again on Saturday. And their defense really showed up in Lawrence. They held Kansas to 0 for 12 from threes in the second half of that basketball game.
Right now, though, it's the Cowboys up by 5 as Jeffrey Carroll gets the lay-in. He's got 6.
And Anish, we talked about it. You're looking at an Oklahoma State team with, if they're able to somehow get a win tonight against Texas Tech, with Texas, Iowa State, and season-ending game with Kansas, they got enough opportunity.
Back to the first meeting between Oklahoma State. Second half in 10 of their 14 Big 12 games.
That Achilles heel. The defense, especially in the second half, getting stops. And in this league, there's so many talented offensive players. You got to find a way to get stops on defense, especially down the stretch. They haven't been able to do that.
Inside, Gasson hits the floor and a traveling call. In that last game, Keenan Evans, big second half, erupted for 25.
I'll tell you, I think Jared Culver, not yet. Don't push him in there right now, but this kid's a future pro for Texas Tech. Size, athleticism, big guard, shoots it really deep.
Deep 3, no good by Culver. Smith calling for the screen.
See, Texas Tech usually doesn't switch that with Odiasi, but they did right there.
Now we get a foul down low on Culver, his first. He said it, not me. Smith, step back, in and out. Evans the rebound.
I'll tell you, the other reason Texas Tech is so good on the defensive end of the floor, boy, they give you one shot. You are one and done with them. A lot of guards out there, but those guards rebound.
Odiase left it short. Offensive rebound, Stevenson. Off the window, no good. Odiase gets it back. Evans, 3 from the wing. That doesn't go. And Oklahoma State comes away with it.
Well, a really good offensive possession by Texas Tech. 3 shot opportunities at the basket.
Meanwhile, Smith surgical and carving up that defense.
One of the things Oklahoma State is doing well, when you're playing motion offense like Texas Tech is, you better communicate on defense. You hear good defensive teams. Oklahoma State doing a great job of talking.
Stevenson with a big 3 for Texas Tech. You've watched Keenan Evans now for almost 13 minutes. He just doesn't seem like himself.
No, he doesn't. I think when you're coming back from an injury, you know what? And sometimes it's more mental than physical.
Jumper good by Smith.
Especially when you have a foot injury like it's a toe. can I push off of this thing?
Play tonight. That follows our game on ESPNU. Big implications there. Baylor has started to make a late push. They're now in the mix.
Four of those teams right on the fringe of the field right now.
Brandon Francis hits the jumper, the transfer from Florida. Grew up in the Dominican Republic and a one-time top 40 recruit out of high school.
And Anish, with Solomon on the bench, a really good showing by Oklahoma State thus far in half.
Yeah, Solomon picked up 2 early fouls. Mike Boynton calls him the MVP of this Oklahoma State team as Shine travels.
And because of all the little things that Solomon does. Really good help defense right there.
Keenan Evans just 2 points in this first half, 1 of 3 from the field. Culver blocked by Waters from behind. And here come the Cowboys. Averett. Cameron McGriff, he's been an X factor of late, and will get a blocking foul against Texas Tech. So McGriff to the line, and when he scores,
layup line prior to the game, and they weren't going hard. And it
game over his last 5, the light switch has gone on for the sophomore. Gray, the senior out of Tampa, he had a career high or a season high 13 against Baylor over the weekend. Davide Moretti. Moretti out of Italy misfires. Carroll. And an offensive foul, and that is 2 on Jeffrey Carroll, Oak State's leading scorer.
Anish, Oklahoma.
For anything. Students informed via text message. Moretti.
Well, Averett, a really good on the ball defender.
Here comes Averett. He'll push. Strong to the tin. And a blocking foul against Moretti.
Well, I'll tell you what. Give Wood and a really good point guard with.
They just haven't had consistent point guard play, and you're not going to find too many Juwan Evans. Texas Tech has found something in Zaire Smith, 12 points in this opening half. Averett out of control, throws it out of bounds.
And Anish, the other guy they miss is Forte, because we know how good Juwan Evans was.
When you have Evans, when you have Forte, Carroll got a lot of open shots a season ago.
He really did, because Evans set the plate for him off his penetration, and Forte, you had to stay attached to him on the perimeter because he was such a good shooter, created so much space for other guys.
Carroll's percentage down in terms of field goal percentage, 3-point shooting from last year. Smith above the rim. This is a young man who goes on YouTube and watches old dunks of Vince Carter and Dominique Wilkins, and he's got the athleticism to do a little bit of what they did.
He does. We talked earlier, eye-popping athleticism out of this young guy. Whew.
Averett's pass intercepted by Gray. Gray past Waters. It looked like Shine got the block, but they also get a foul on Oklahoma State.
Well, you got an athletic young player. That's why he's thriving in the role with the young guys. This is a guy that really scored the ball. Started 27 games last year, averaged almost 9 points a game. But Chris Beard has convinced him, keep being a great defender like you are, Justin Gray, and you'll help us win a lot of games, get in the tournament, and make a deep run.
Kendall Smith no good from 3. Offensive rebound to Seba.
I love when guys are going to the offensive boards. If they can't grab the rebound, just keep it alive, and one of our other guys will grab it, and that's exactly what happened as Sema cleaned it up and finished.
Gray from the elbow. Tied at 31.
See, in this motion offense, which Coach Knight ran, everybody's a screener. Like it's not just the big guys that are setting screens. Everybody's out there setting screens. On that play right there, Keenan Evans with a great screen that freed up screens like Keenan Evans did right there.
Evans trying to do the little things offensively, just 2 points, 1 of 3 shooting. He injured his toe Saturday in the loss to Baylor and has been listed as day-to-day since. Shine turns it over.
Boy, you see
Out Evans for the second half. The Texas Tech defense gave them a chance to win that game at the end. Even though they didn't win, they had chances late.
Absolutely, and if they'd have had number 12 out there in gray, he might have been able to hit that shot at the end that Brandon Francis wasn't able to knock down.
Evans, no good. Offensive rebound. Smith and the reverse dunk.
Wow. Boy, is that young guy explosive.
Another turnover for Oklahoma State. In Lubbock, one of the biggest regular season games in program history for the Red Raiders. Texas Tech looking to end Kansas's run of 13 straight Big 12 regular season titles as Culver steps out of bounds. And listen, the Red Raiders, they've got the tie, West Virginia, and a home game at TCU, and they'd be in the driver's seat to end Kansas's reign of terror in the Big 12.
Anish, I think everybody will agree, and Bill Self himself, that this is his most vulnerable team that he's had the last 14 years. But remember, this is what they do, Kansas. They compete like crazy. This Bill Self has brought this team along. If they could go down to Lubbock and pull that thing out on Saturday.
Texas Tech ranked 6th in the AP poll. Highest ranking in the AP poll in school history. Stevenson giving the Red Raiders a 4-point lead as we come up on a minute to play in this opening half. Smith can't get it to go. The Cowboys just one made field goal in the last 6+ minutes.
Just really impressed with Texas Tech's help side defense. Man, they explode from the help side to dribble penetration.
They've got the lead on the road, and despite their best player, Keenan Evans, having just 2 points in this first half as we get a foul on the Cowboys.
I agree, Anish. He does. The 3 head coaches in this league, and in preparation for our game tonight, they said, hey, we know Trae Young's in this league, and his numbers are off the chart. Tops in the country in scoring, tops in the country in assists. But guys tell me the best player in this league is number 12 in the gray.
Offensive foul on Gray. Having said that, do you really think someone besides Trae Young is going to win Big 12?
These guys do it themselves, and Trae, the youngster, just struggling. 0-5 Oklahoma right now. The writers love point productivity and numbers. Coaches appreciate, like the guys I talk to, who is leading their team.
Three-pointer good by DeZagua.
Boy, one of the things Thomas DeZagua does is really shoot the ball.
Final seconds of this first half. Evans, he'll launch. No good. Rebound to Smith. And the first half ends. Keenan Evans just 1 of 5. Only 2 points, but Saeed.
Second half.
Lawrence Odiase over to Culver. And a turnover. Solomon to Kendall Smith. Smith will draw the foul and to shoot 2. Really a 71% free throw shooter.
Graduate transfer. Nearly 17 points a game and almost 5 assists a game for Kendall Smith.
Evans has been passive so far. Just 2 points, 1 of 5 from the field. Culver from the elbow. Offensive rebound, Gray, and a 2-point lead for Texas Tech.
Oklahoma State cannot ball watch when the shot goes up there. You got to create the car crash when you're boxing out.
Smith inside for Solomon, able to recover. Seven lead changes tonight, 5 ties. Shot clock winding down. Smith over Odiase. Kendall Smith beats the buzzer.
I'll tell you what, that was pretty good defense as well. Odiase switched the screen out there, high hand, good defense, better offense.
12 points for Kendall Smith. Evans. Shot comes up short. We've seen a lot of that tonight from Evans. Waters pulls up at the other end. Back-to-back threes for the Pokes.
Well, that's how Mike Boynton wants to play. You don't want to play 5-on-5 against that Texas Tech defense. Let's get stops, let's get runouts, and that's exactly what the Cowboys are doing.
Culver. No good. Rebounded by McGriff. Carroll, open three. 9-0 run by Oklahoma State. 3 straight threes. And a timeout called by Chris Beard.
Defense in a retreat mode. To be good defensively, you need to be back, set, and moving into the ball. Chris Beard has to be talking to them about their conversion defense.
Odiase on the putback attempt. It's not there. Here comes Oklahoma State.
Much better in conversion right there for the Red Raiders. But when you're getting back, you're talking, you're pointing, and you're really communicating as to who you have.
And an offensive foul on the Cowboys.
Illegal screen. Big emphasis to with 3, and Boynton leaving him in the game.
Long 3 by Evans, not there. That was Stevenson, rather. Inside to Gray, step back. Can't get the bounce. Cowboys looking to push again. Waters off the feed from Carroll. Good. Oklahoma State doing it from the outside.
They really are, and I'll tell you what, pushing it hard in transition. If you don't have it, man, the ball is moving. Oklahoma State, if you don't have a shot or a pass within 1 second or dribble drive, they are moving the basketball.
11-0 run for the Cowboys. Hamilton could not handle it. Another 3 by the Cowboys. Carroll.
You know what, Anish? One of the biggest mistakes you can ever make as a team is not show the appropriate respect to an opponent. Maybe they're looking a little bit ahead to Kansas coming into this game right now.
And a blocking foul. And if that's Solomon, that's 4, and it is.
Trainers and the medical staff, that you know what, if you're ready to go and you're going to play, then you got to come and perform. He just doesn't look himself. He's not as assertive. He doesn't have the same lift on his jump shot that we've seen him have in the past.
A lob for Smith. And now here comes Texas Tech into Culver. Drops it off. Stevenson through traffic. That puts an end to a 15-2 Cowboy run. Oklahoma State against the best defense in the Big 12, shooting 65%, 8 of 12 from 3, already 49 points.
And he's yet to miss a shot in the second half. There you go. How about that? 5 for 5 in the second half from behind the three-point line.
15 for Lindy Waters, who played his high school ball at Norman North with Trey Young.
You know what, Anish? This is a team game, the ultimate team game, but you got to embrace your individual matchup. You got to want to win that one-on-one with the guy that's guarding you. And Texas Tech needs to do that on the defensive end of the floor.
Big 3 by the DePaul transfer, Tommy Hamilton.
This is a team game played by individuals. You got to want to win your individual matchup.
And we get a foul on Stevenson trying to reach over the back of Carroll.
You hear Texas Tech talking on defense. Switch.
Oklahoma State can't miss right now. 7 for 7 in the second half. Red Raiders down by 12.
They're scoring the ball, Anish, but I'll tell you what, really impressed with their defense as well.
A block at the rim on the drive by Culver, but we get a foul.
Garrett Culver. Another guy, terrific athlete. Now we're going to see find out a lot about Texas Tech's leadership right here. What they're thinking, down 11 with 13 and a half to go, is really important for this team moving forward.
McGriff to Carroll! And we get a timeout.
Like I said, one of the worst things you could ever do is not give the appropriate respect to an opponent.
Evans back into the game. Wild shot by Francis. Shine wide open. How many open looks is Oklahoma State going to get? They are now 9 of 9 in the second half. 6 of 6 from 3.
And I'll tell you what, terrific ball move.
And then went on a run.
Yeah, they went on a run and played their way right into the field, and a lot of these guys were part of it.
(25-8) here in the second half in favor of Oklahoma State. Keenan Evans just 2 points for Texas Tech. Zaire Smith, he's been the offense, 18 for the Red Raiders.
Much better. Now Texas Tech can set their defense. And how about this, Anish? Texas Tech, 2-3 zone. And I like it. You know what? I mean, they're just scoring like crazy. Let's just try to change up and see if we could just. We forced a miss right there. Now we just got to rebound the ball.
Yeah, but Oklahoma State gets the rebound. That was the first miss of the second half for the Cowboys. That's the second. Putback is not there. McGriff hanging on the rim. We get a whistle. That was out of self-preservation.
Yes, it was. You're allowed to hang on at
this. Tech, which has traveled well all season, has not made the trip to Stillwater.
Anish, you know, sometimes you can say, hey, what's wrong with Texas Tech's defense? Do they need to switch more? Do they need to? So we are to defense. So I really think that's where this thing comes down. Now, Texas Tech down 15 in game 1 and clawed back and found a way to win. Let's see if they have that energy in this one right here.
Kendall Smith, great move off the bounce. Couldn't finish. And McGriff fouls Evans.
Yeah, sometimes it's just about, you know what, fellas? It's not about us.
Red Raiders were able to rally back in that first meeting on January 23rd. But Keenan Evans had 22 points in the second half. Evans just 2 points tonight and has not looked like himself. Three-pointer is good by Hamilton. On Saturday, Evans injured his toe right before halftime in the loss to Baylor. He did not play the second half. And Texas Tech lost the game, and they needed Evans at the end of that game when they had opportunities to win, just didn't have the guy they wanted taking the shot.
Well, Anish, they run motion offense. We talked about it. But you know what? When that clock winds down and it's a short clock, Keenan Evans is a guy with the ball in his hands that could create for you and get a shot for you. I tell you, it just doesn't look like he's moving well right now. You know, it's good. This kid has tremendous confidence, Keenan Evans, but it's great to have confidence in yourself. You got to have confidence in those guys you're playing with as well.
Offensive foul on Francis. That's his third. Texas Tech team that has shown it's as tough as anybody in the country. Priority number one between now and the NCAA tournament is making sure Keenan Evans is healthy.
Yeah, this entire team needs to be healthy. Like when you're coaching, you're constantly asking yourself, what does our team need right now? Sometimes it's rest, sometimes it's a physical, competitive practice. But the most important thing is being fresh and being healthy when you get into the tournament.
Culver, the basket will count plus the foul.
In Anish, a few possessions ago, let's go ahead and go back to man-to-man, and now they've cut it to 9. 8-0 run by the Red Raiders.
And now Mike Boynton wants a timeout. Seeing the pendulum swing. Currently has 8 Big 12 teams in his projected field. It's only a 10-team league. Carroll, corner 3. And the Red Raiders can cut it closer with a basket here.
I think Oklahoma State has done a nice job of, when those guys are slipping those screens going to the basket, they're doing a terrific job of staying with them. You saw Gray set the screen, slip to the basket. Oklahoma State with good defense right there.
Solomon in the game, playing with the 4 fouls.
The value of having Texas Tech switch the flex cut and the down screen. Short clock right now for Oklahoma State.
Solomon hands off to Averett. Step back, no good. And we get a foul on the floor. It'll be on the Red Raiders.
And Oklahoma State's Texas Tech's defense much better.
Carroll's got to get it in. He does. McGriff. McGriff from the outside.
Hamilton surprised that he took the shot. You got to contest that thing. Not a good contest from Tommy Hamilton.
And then Hamilton airballs the 3 at the other end. Oklahoma State has made 11 of 18 from 3 in the game, 7 of 10 since halftime.
Well, you got to be able to make those adjustments. Like Hamilton's defense, McGriff's not a great three-point shooter, 33%, but Oklahoma State's shooting so well, you got to make sure you have a high hand on those shots. And it's the most important thing you could do on defense, whether you're Syracuse who plays zone or you're man-to-man, is contesting shots, making guys miss.
Lob to Solomon, out of the double. Extra pass, McGriff. Offensive rebound, Solomon, and he's fouled on the putback. Cowboys looking to score.
In the ACC, you can't say that. Pittsburgh struggling right now. Shooting lights out in the second half, but their defense has been outstanding. And Boynton goes to the 1-2-2 zone for the first time. Second half, that is.
Stevenson. Good defense here by the Cowboys. 3 to shoot. And a shot clock violation. Oklahoma State defensively had been giving up.
And he changes up defenses right there, and it really frustrates Texas Tech. It's like they're not prepared for the zone coming out of the huddle.
Look at what's happened to the second half to Oklahoma State. They've kept their focus so far. Mike Boynton said that was the key. As we get a foul, it's on Sema.
Open. Mike Boynton has done that with the Cowboys.
Evans still not there. The tip in is good by Culver. Keenan Evans, just 2 points tonight, 1 for 8 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3.
And Anish, on all those three-point shots that he missed, I'll bet 4 of the 5 that he missed, they've been short.
Yeah, what does that tell you?
And that says, you know, your legs, but with him, maybe the toe injury is really bothering him. Just doesn't have enough lift on that.
Less than 5 to shoot. Kick to the corner. 3 not there for McGriff. Battle for the rebound. And it comes to Texas Tech with a chance to cut the deficit to single digits. Culver denied at the rim, but we get a foul.
Well, that's one of the things Culver does well. His athleticism. I'll tell you, you have to put this Euro step for young guys.
Evans at 6'4".
And here's what that enables them to do, Anish. It enables them to switch most screens on defense because they're all medium-sized guys that can match up well, whether it's a 4-man or even a center at times. Out of Lakeview Centennial, same high school as...
Where does the offense come from for Texas Tech? Evans not himself with the injury. Zaire Smith had 16 in the first half. Just 1 field goal in the second half. Culver steps into a 3, and it's a 9-point game with 5.5 to play.
Now, if you're Texas Tech, you're telling your guys, fellas, stop, score, stop. Let's put together a couple stops here. We're right back in this game.
Far from over. Here's Gasson. Bounce pass to Waters.
You know, sometimes your best defender on those back doors is the guy guarding the passer. They have to have more pressure on the basketball. Same thing in football. If you're going to let a guy sit in the pocket and just pick you apart, they have to have more pressure on the passer, Texas Tech.
Gray does not get the roll. Follow not there. Culver. Last touch, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State basketball.
Yeah, you can't let... And you're seeing Texas Tech extend their defense, trying to create a little offense off of pressure.
Gasson posting up on the inside, and he traveled.
Yeah, Gasson, the sophomore. He'll learn. Team is back, not getting the minutes that he had earlier.
Three is good by Jarrett Culver, and the freshman makes this an 8-point game. 15 now for Culver, whose career high was against Oklahoma State last month.
Boy, fortunate
break.
Yeah, good break indeed. Pretty good defense. The trap in the corner. Boy, just a kind bounty
from 3.
The 2 freshmen for Texas Tech, Culver and Zaire Smith, have really stepped up on the road for them.
There's the JUCO transfer, Stevenson. It's an 8-point game. And a light press now by the Red Raiders. Waters a 17-point night to tie a career high. Averett down the lane. Teardrop, no good. Rebound Culver. Culver behind the back. Throws it up toward the rim. Out of bounds. They'll say last touch Oklahoma State.
How's that not a foul on the shot? Looks like Culver got hit.
Keenan Evans not on the floor for Texas Tech.
Yeah, trying to do too much off the dribble.
Gray gets the bounce, and it's a 2-possession game.
Yeah, plenty of time. Texas Tech has to continue to execute their way through things. Stevenson, a little too much bounce on that possession for Texas Tech offensively. Turned out good for him, but keep moving, keep screening. 6-point game.
Smith wants room. baseline. Tough shot, off balance, short. Offensive rebound, Carroll. Carroll kicks it out to Shine. Extra pass, Smith. Shot was blocked. McGriff gets it back. Shot clock does not reset. Shine now. Three is not good. Out of bounds, Texas Tech ball.
I'm yelling why, like let's run more clock there when that pull. Yeah, I'm with you there, Cameron McGriff. Fellas, slow down a little bit. Let's make a couple passes after we get that offensive rebound. Texas Tech just has to continue to run motion and execute their way through things.
Stevenson and a rebound by McGriff, but we get a foul. And it's on McGriff. And left.
Well, Anish, this is the best defensive team in the Big 12. No more important time right now than trying to get stops for the Red Raiders. Yeah, don't. Because of the foul trouble he's been in. You're seeing him not on the floor because he's not healthy right now.
1 of 7 2-points tonight. Culver's been big down the stretch. Smith, good position, down low, blocked from behind by Shine. Oklahoma State ball.
Good ball movement.
Out of timeouts, Oklahoma State still has one. Smith stumbles, but he got a bump. And Kendall Smith to the line. It'll be to the Red Sox. Certainly brings power to a team that missed David Ortiz a season. It's a 3-possession game, 134. Stevenson all the way to the basket and able to draw the foul.
Well, you couldn't have played it any better for Texas Tech than that right there. The only thing would have been better if he would have been able to finish the layup. What it does is the substitution stops the clock. Exactly what he did.
Now, if this comes down to one shot,
I don't think he's 100%. Good decision by Oklahoma State. Pull it out.
Cowboys able to break the press. Now they'll work some clock. And the foul committed by Culver to send Smith back to the line.
Now Kendall Smith, he's the best guy to get on the floor right now for Oklahoma State.
Session game, 1:15 to go. Stevenson will pop, and he'll hit 75-71.
And you're seeing Texas Tech, nobody on the bat, the logo right there.
Culver down the lane, tried to drop it off, and instead it's a turnover.
That's why coaches have gray hair right there.
And we get a foul on the inbounds. It is on Zaire Smith. That's
not the Keenan Evans that we saw all year long. But, you know, give the young man credit.
20 points for Smith, his 6th 20. Stevenson out of control and a travel.
Yeah, Stevens.
And we get a foul on Texas Tech. Handled success very well this season. If Oklahoma State holds on.
Transfer, but they've won and not handled success well. The next game is costing.
Culver with a 3, too strong. Rebound by Waters. He's fouled, and Lindy Waters to the free throw line.
79% free throw shot next game, and as a coach, you don't make that decision.
Will join that game in progress.
Probably Big 12 Coach of the Year.
Stevenson green lights the 3, in and out. The rebound by McGriff, and Oklahoma State is going to get its 5th win against a top 25 team this season.
And there's another guy doing a terrific job, huh? Mike Boynton, 36 years old, 4th youngest coach in Division I. boy, has taken this program over and done a terrific job.
Oklahoma State